Hey guys, welcome to the video. My name is Ethan and I'm a second year student studying at Imperial College, London. And I'm currently studying chemistry, and I'd like to tell you about my experience in my first year studying chemistry at Imperial. I want to talk about my dislikes and also likes, and hopefully that will help you guys decide if Imperial is the right school for you. Now before I get started, I just want to say this is really my experience only, and I've used to live in Tokyo, Singapore, Taipei, and now London. So I'm really used to moving around, transferring from schools to schools, and living on my own. So I just want to say this is really my opinion only. Someone from Imperial can have a completely different experience compared to me. But with that being said, let's get started. So, academics. Well, if you already got into Imperial, chances are you are already studying really well in high school. And I think that's a good thing, and I feel like you shouldn't be intimidated by the supposed workload for Imperial. Yes, it is quite a bit of work, and before I went to Imperial, I remember how I was scared about the workload and how hard and how difficult the materials will be. And it's true, it is quite difficult. In my first year, we already started quantum chemistry, and that part was probably the most difficult part for me. But, I made it through, and I eventually got a first in my first year, and I know it's only the first year, but yeah. So I don't think anyone should worry, because I'm definitely not the smartest one in my course, probably just average, and there are a ton of people that are doing really, really well. I know a lot of people are doing really well in their courses, regardless of majors, and they're always doing really well, and that's because they've built a good foundation from high school, and they're able to carry that on at Imperial. So when you're interviewed, if you got an N, it's because the interviewer believes that you have the ability to get a first and graduate from Imperial. So if you're like me, who is worried who before I went to Imperial was worried that the workload is going to be too much, I don't think you should be afraid. I think you're definitely more than capable of getting a first honor degree out of this. So don't be worried. And in terms of workload, I study about 3 to 4 hours a day, like really solid 3 hours maybe, and then I'll do another 2 hours where I'm definitely not as focused, but I'm still studying, and that's usually how my day goes. So an example of my day, I'll show my calendar later, but if I have a lab that day, then I'll do from 9 to 12, I'll do labs, and then there'll be lectures, which I usually watch on Panopto, which is the streaming service for your lectures. And then I'll go on and I'll make notes on them, and also revise for the previous lectures I have that day. And then the rest of the day I'm just I'm either working out or cooking or doing something. So don't worry, you'll have time to have a life, and you won't be spending all your time at a library. So don't worry about that. I just want to talk about the quality of the teaching, because I think it's really great. I have no complaints about it. I mean, yeah, some professors can be difficult to understand, but I think that goes to every university. But in terms of the teacher ratio is really good. For tutorials, you have one professor per 6 people in your tutorials for chemistry, and about 1 to 20 or 1 to 25 for your workshops. And there's 160 people in my course this year, so it's not a big. I don't think it's that big, and yeah, everything's kind of fine. Imperial does put academics first, and when we were during the pandemic around March, yeah, we're one of the last schools to announce that we're going to be doing lectures online, which is quite inconvenient for me because I had to switch my flights a few times, and that was pretty stressful. And that's what you get with Imperial. They're going to put academics first before everything. And I know they say that mental health is obviously really important, and they do support their students, but in my experience, I feel like academics do come first. So I think that's definitely something to think about, something that I'm not super happy with, but it is what it is. I think there's trade-offs in between. When they really focus on the academics, the quality of your degree is there. That's why you go to Imperial for. It's because when you graduate with a degree from Imperial, chances are you'll be applying jobs with an advantage over other people, but that do come with a price. So I think that's something to think about. Now, accommodations, Well, there are quite a few halls in Imperial that Imperial offers, and the one I stayed in was Southside. So I was really lucky to be able to get Southside Premium Single. And Imperial does offer cheaper options um, in halls such as Woodward, Byte, Cambridge, Wilson House. But in my personal opinion, I think the best ones are East Side and South Side because they're really new and they're super close to school. Byte is great, I've been there, but it is a bit old. And Woodward is the newest buildings, and honestly, I heard the rooms are the best and probably have the best facilities. But it is about a 40-minute tube commute from Woodward halls to the campus. So I think that's something to think about. And I'll show you guys a quick video of my room, and you guys can take a look. But personally, I really enjoyed it. It's super convenient, and I was able to meet so many great friends from my halls, which I'm sure it's the same for other halls. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed staying at Southside. So when you apply for accommodations, you're going to have to pick 5 of your top choices. But that doesn't mean you'll get any of your 5 choices, because my friend got his 6th choice. Imperial chose one for him, and he had to stay at Wilson House. So that does happen, and I hope you guys all get your desired accommodation and then really enjoy your first year. So let's talk about life in London. Like I said before, I've lived in Tokyo, Singapore, and London and Taipei, and they're all pretty similar. They're all big cities. They have everything you need. It is crowded, it is busy, but I'm so used to it, and honestly, it's not a big transition for me. What I like about London is that there's everything you need. There's food, concerts, movies. You want to watch plays, there's plays. And then there's Chinatown. There's different kind of foods, different things you can buy. Pretty much anything you want is there. Museums and parks. Most people be spending time outside of campus as kind of for leisure, whereas I think some of my friends who are really enjoying their college experience, they're partying at school, they're kind of doing everything on campus. So I think that's something to consider, whether you're a city person or not, and whether you want to try to change your lifestyle to that. But I think one thing that does help with is, like, for me, it's kind of like having a job. You go to campus for your lectures, and you go home. You don't really spend time on campus. It's more of a lifestyle you'll have if you're working at an office. You just go there for your work, but you don't actually stay there longer than that. And some people like it, some people don't. You can actually, I think the benefit of that is when you're Imperial, let's say you have a lot of friends outside Imperial, then you can always meet up with them. Technically, Imperial is kind of just a place for you to learn, but you don't really have to, do everything at Imperial. So it offers that flexibility, if you like it. Now, I want to talk about the most important thing that I think people want to know, and I certainly want to know when I was still deciding if I should come to Imperial, and that is a social life. Because I heard a lot of stuff about social life in Imperial, how people are depressed, people don't really make friends, and you're just kind of alone for your 4 years there or 3 years there. And in my opinion, I think, my experience, that's really not true. I've made great friends at my course and in my flat, especially my flatmates, and I've honestly had such a great experience. People are really nice, and most people are very supportive of each other. They do want to meet people. They do want to make friends. You're not going to be the only one in the boat. People are desperate to make friends in the start of the term. Sometimes people are shy, and you have to be the first person to say hi to someone or introduce yourself. But my recommendation is just introduce yourself, and you'll be fine anywhere. I moved around 7 schools in my life, and sometimes it didn't go so well, sometimes it did. And I think the main thing is just to relax, be yourself, and be chill. And I think you'll meet the people you attract and the people you like. You're not going to be friends with everybody, and that's fine. That's gonna happen whether you go to Imperial or not. And Imperial has set up a lot of opportunities for you to really know people. So there's societies. Imperial has the most societies in the UK, I believe, for UK universities. there's clubs, and there's sports. And I didn't enjoy any. I was still able to make a lot of friends. So imagine if you were doing any societies, I'm sure you'll meet a lot more people who are like-minded like you, some people who are very different from you. There's always something to learn, and I think that's what's great about Imperial. It really offers, or just university in general, it really offers the opportunity for you to learn. If I'm being honest, I think you should go to Imperial if you already got in. And I'm sure you applied probably because you're kind of interested, or for those of you who haven't applied, you can think about it, and you can even go on open days. Now there's virtual open days, and every school you go to, there are going to be complaints, negative comments, positive comments, and it's for you to decide whether environment suits you or not. And sometimes maybe a new environment is good. It challenges you. It pushes you to adapt to new situations. And I think that's what's beautiful about university. You can really develop yourself and your character, and also your personality and perspective in these crucial 3-4 years, so that when you're out there in the field, you are more of an established person than you were before you went to university. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I really appreciate you guys sticking around, and I know it's quite a long video. Please comment down below any questions you have or any concerns, opinions. I'll get back to you. And if there's anything you guys want me to make a video on, I'll make it. And I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you.